Welcome back to Awareness. It started 5 years ago. 3 men who realized their potential and wanted to be a positive example for others. Michael Holloman, Jabari Price, and Gerard Droz make up the board of directors, an organization geared to defining or maybe redefining manhood while helping young men and boys see their potential and make better choices. Thank you all for being with us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
How did the board of directors come to be?
We're all just great friends that work together. During our lunch conversations, we just decided that based on the conversations that we had, that we brought more to the table. We all got different backgrounds, single parent mother, 2-parent home, single parent father. Met at a time in our lives where we all were at the same point and it felt like manhood was all about the same. We wondered what was the common thread behind it. Behind that common thread, we decided we wanted to do something more in the community other than sit at the table and talk about the issues that we talked about.
So over lunch, this is what happened. This is what was created.
Yes, ma'am.
And I was reading on your website, really interesting, the 6 weights of manhood. Describe what those principles are all about.
Well, the 6 weights of manhood is basically what we feel that every man, the weights that every man has to carry. Basically, it boils down to being a visionary, a leader, a provider, protector, a grower, and a servant. And we feel that if you are a man and you can carry those weights, then you can call yourself truly a man.
Yep.
Yeah.
And do you think you all try to exemplify those weights as best you can in your daily lives?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. Those are the fundamentals we feel is the foundation that you have to build on your character, which is what we stress and talk about whenever we go out and mentor to the kids. And we feel like if you don't show it and be that, then how can you teach it and talk about it?
Right, absolutely.
Yes.
And Gerard, how are you teaching that to these young people? And do you think they're retaining this information?
Well, we do mentoring sessions based on our book that we wrote, The Makings of a Man. And basically we do 10 weeks with them, the first session being a introductory session. And then after that, we get through each chapter of the book. We talk about and break it down. After we read it, talk about the issues that are going on. What is society's image of a man? What does it mean to be a man versus being a male? And we really have conversations with young men on their levels, not trying to talk to them above their level, not trying to preach to them, but we try to make sure that we connect with them and understand that we went through the same things that they're going through today, and make sure that they understand that, you know, the technology changes, the times change, but the core principles and things like that never change.
Right, and you even have some etiquette type classes. I saw some pictures of you showing them how to tie a tie. So really important life skills that you're trying to teach these young men.
Absolutely. Yeah. As a part of the mentoring sessions that we do is that we people like to especially love to see us teaching kids how to do basic things like that. And we try to incorporate that.
Which aren't so basic for some people who don't know how to do it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you find out that they really want to engage and do things like that.
Right.
But they just don't have the option.
Right.
So we bring into them an option. Well, you can choose to do good or you can choose to do bad.
Right.
So we bring an option of goodness into their life.
Right. Well, and we just heard 3 really compelling stories about mothers and families who were affected by some bad choices that people made. So do you think with the mentoring and the classes you're providing, do you think this is a positive outlet for these young men and boys? And have you seen a change in them?
Yeah, absolutely it is, because a lot of times you can't imitate what you don't see. So when the situations where people go and do things that are not the best for the community, not the best for themselves, it may be a situation where they've never seen anyone demonstrate the correct behavior. No one's never pulled them aside and said, maybe you shouldn't do this way. Think about it this way. Really what we try to do is just provide young men with an option.
Right.
They may see certain things on television, hear certain things on the radio and whatnot, but if they don't know or don't see another way demonstrated to them, a lot of times they just don't know.
Yeah. Right. One of the things that we really like to promote is personal accountability. And so many times people want to place blame on other people for the actions that they do. And we teach kids, you know, accept the blame for your mistake. Own your mistake. If you own your mistake, then you can move forward from that.
Right, and also teaching them ways to maybe avoid making the mistakes in the first place.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And so you have this 10-week program, but is there any follow-up after that with any of the young people?
After that, we do come back and check with the young men. We have a group that we worked with earlier before the end of the school year where we will plan to go back and play basketball with them. Just kind of do some things, not necessarily, like we said all the time, teaching and being preachy
but you
or
can
whatnot.
still teach on the basketball court.
But yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely.
Teamwork, definitely.
Yeah.
Right. And finally, just give us a message out there for the young people who may be struggling with some bad decisions or maybe contemplating gang life. Just give us a couple of messages to take away.
Okay.
Well, I think first of all, you have to think before you act. Every action has the equal and opposite reaction. So if you want good things to come to you in your life, practice being good to other people. Sometimes instead of looking for a blessing to come to you, go be a blessing to someone else. Because then in turn you find out that your life is richly rewarded as well as the other person who you help. So just stop and think.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I would like to stress having a purpose in life and having a vision. That's one of the 5 weights that we teach, because I feel that if a young person has a purpose and vision in their life, that deters them from making a lot of mistakes. Because a lot of these kids, when I was listening to the last segment, it's just senseless violence. And I think if these kids were to have like a purpose in life and have a goal, they're a lot less likely to make those bad decisions, because that jeopardizes their future. When a kid doesn't have a future, then the decisions don't mean as much. Yeah.
And I would like to let them know that don't be afraid of your emotions. If you're hurting, let someone know. You can't find help if you don't ask for it. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because we're here and we're willing and we're looking to help you.
Right. Excellent advice and a great program. Thank you all for being with us.
All right, thank you.
After the break, we've heard how violence affects families, hurts communities, and some ways we're combating negative stereotypes. But another component is law enforcement. How are they working to solve crimes?